I am solar powered. I'm not a robot hybrid or anything like that. I can still remember the day when this finally sunk in. I was at Multnomah Falls, the top tourist attraction in Oregon. There's lots of trees growing around there. I noticed a few trees growing out of the side of a cliff. As I was looking at one of the large ones, a thought struck me. That tree is growing out of the side of a bare rock. There's no soil. Where did all that matter come from to grow that tree? I had not really thought this through, so I had this concept in my mind that the material to grow the tree came from the soil. I was completely wrong. I thought, yeah, I remember organic chemistry. All these biological systems are made chiefly from carbon chains. It doesn't get the carbon from the soil. It just finally sunk in. That tree is made almost entirely of thin air. Literally thin air. There's water involved, to bring some other elements, but carbon is the bulk of it, which comes from the carbon dioxide in the air. That's not just this tree. That's every plant. Where does our energy come from? Chlorophyll photosynthesizes the solar photon, packaging all the energy in the food we eat. Yes, we eat animals, but they got their power from the plants they eat. When you trace the source of your energy all the way back, you find that you are solar powered. I'll come back to solar energy, how it relates to leadership. One time when Jesus was teaching, he was near the temple, where everyone could see people bringing coins to a treasury box as a gift to the temple. There were many rich people putting in lots of coins, and there was a poor widow who put in a very small amount. Jesus pointed this out and said, this poor widow has given more than everyone else. After she gave, she had nothing left. These rich people had plenty left after they had given. By that standard, she had given more. If I'm going to compare two different people with each other, it's perfectly fair for me to pay a person more if they're producing more. What's not fair is if I say the person who's producing more is a success and the person who's producing less is a failure. I don't know how much this person is capable of delivering, what kind of challenges they're facing in their life. You might be thinking, I have an employee who was giving more 3 months ago, so I know how much they can deliver. That's a valid concern, so I want to tell you how Coach Wooden handled that. But first, let's consider this. We don't know what happened to this person a month ago, or a week ago, or even last night, and that would affect their ability to contribute. Now I want to tell you about Coach Wooden. In all of history, there has not been a better coach than John Wooden. I aspire to coach and lead like Coach Wooden. When he had a basketball player who was not giving 100% during a practice, here's what he would do. First, if you were one of the players, you could hear Coach Wooden telling you before the practice, we have 90 minutes for this session. Give it all you've got. When he saw a player who was not giving as much as he knew he could give, he would pull that player aside and say, Lewis, you're not giving me 100% today, are you? Lewis would say, no, coach, I'm not. Coach Wooden would say, Lewis, you're thinking, I just don't have it in me today to give 100%. Tomorrow, I'll give 110%, 120%. Let me tell you something. You cannot give more than 100%. So tomorrow, you won't give me 110%. Today is the day to give me 100%. If you give me less, that difference is lost forever. The number one leadership guru is John Maxwell. And Coach Wooden was one of his mentors who would say to him, make each day your masterpiece. Both of them would say the same to us. It is well to learn Coach Wooden's definition of success. Achieve your full capability. This kind of leadership style rewards diligence, honors courage, and instills confidence. This is leadership, solar energy that helps us to grow. Consider this perspective. When a person is authoritarian, they're in a position of control. When a person is authoritative, they're providing leadership as a service. And the source of it is from wisdom. The definition for wisdom is kind of broad, so I want to specify what I mean. Think of all the different kinds of knowledge that's out there. Some knowledge is not very useful, even if it might be interesting, like trivia. Another knowledge is really useful. Some knowledge is questionable or uncertain. Other knowledge is trustworthy. When you combine those two factors where you have knowledge that's both trustworthy and useful, that's what I'm talking about wisdom. A lot of times people think of wisdom as good judgment. I'll make a distinction there. I'll call that prudence, which is decision-making skills. This includes due diligence and getting counsel from people who have wisdom that's relevant to the decision being made. Leadership by serving others with prudence based on wisdom. As John Maxwell says, I don't want people to work for me. I want people to work with me. I know it's a common temptation for people to want to control other people. At the same time, I understand there are situations where it's good for someone to have control, and that's in an emergency. It's helpful for an incident commander to gather information, make decisions, and assign tasks. That's why some reporters tend to deliver the bad news in a way that makes it sound like there's an emergency. Not only does this alarming message get more audience who are attracted to sensational news, so they get more ad revenue, but it also triggers a groundswell of support for the cause. Thousands of people who feel compelled to clamor for the government to give us safety. One of the marketing strategies for the Roman Empire is that we're going to give you safety. It's going to be at the expense of liberty. The trouble here is that government is supposed to be providing justice. It's not just to reduce our liberty. You could ponder the analogy of government in comparison with these leadership factors like this. Anarchy is like nighttime, no leadership. Liberty is like the sunrise, giving us energy and growth. And this leadership style would be anti-bureaucratic. When the people want the government to limit everyone's liberty, as if we're all criminals, that's like sunburn. We are all leaders. Please allow me to encourage you to shine so people in your sphere of influence get topped up in their vitality, and their spirit will thrive, and their soul will grow because we are giving them leadership, solar energy.